So you want to get a leveling kit for your F-150, a new one to be exact, and you don't know what to get. Well, today I'm going to walk you through the Rough Country strut leveling kit with the N3 shocks. This is my 2023 F150 STX with the N3 strut leveling kit from Rough Country on a 285 70R18 Wild Peak AT4 with a fuel Rebel, and these are -12 offset. As you can see here, there are the shocks in the rear, and here is your full strut. Installation I didn't do, but the technician did time himself, and it took him 16 minutes to do just the one side, the one front strut. So doesn't seem terrible. Personally, I just did not feel like installing it. So I did go with a -12 offset on the wheels. So they do have a little bit of poke, probably a little bit more than I would desire, but it's not terrible. Just be mindful that you definitely could throw some rocks scratch up your paint, but other than that, the truck sits very nice. It does sit level. My driveway is a slant, so it's gonna look a little slanted. Now, I did go with the rear shock because I do have all this camping stuff on here, and I didn't want to get sagging leaf springs. So I will say this, as far as the ride quality goes, and this is the best way I can describe it. My stock suspension, when I would hit a bump, it was very boaty, to describe it. Basically, when you would hit a bump, the truck would then float like 3 times, give or take, depending on the bump. They absorb the bump exactly the same as stock would, except they don't have that continued bounce. They absorb the shock and then they settle out quick. So it's more of a, instead of, so if that gives you any kind of description, to me, that is the best way I can describe it, other than saying rides like stock, because it does ride like stock, but in my opinion, I like it better. I feel a lot more planted. The truck just felt very loosey-goosey in my opinion, and some people may really like that. Personally, I want my truck to be comfortable and ride well, but I want to feel the things that I want to feel, and I want the truck to rock around. I don't want to have a lot of body roll. Some body roll is good, but not a lot. Now, as far as the tire and wheels setup goes, these are the AT4s, and I absolutely love them. And to tell you why I love them, well, I went wheeling in this, and this has the Falcon AT3s, and this performed incredibly well. Honestly blown away. I've ran BFGs, I've ran Nittos, I've ran Toyos, I've ran now Wild Peaks, Prinks, as you guys saw from my last tire. And honestly, of all the all-terrain tires, these blew my mind, really. I mean, 26 degrees of angle in two-wheel drive, no lockers, and this began to slip right as we were hitting the crest. But leading up to that, it was an easy slow crawl. So that to me had me absolutely sold on the performance of the Wild Peak ATs. The AT4s came out, and I did like that they do have a thicker sidewall tread. So this is, I think these are 3-ply, and I believe these are 4-ply. Don't quote me on that, but I do know that they are higher ply. So I did like that. And the sidewall is a little bit more aggressive, which is just a personal preference, really, because it just looks a little bit more aggressive. But I will say this, the AT3s are actually rated better for ice. So if you live somewhere where you do get a lot of snow, you do want to go with the AT3s. So basically what I'm referring to is these jagged marks here. So these are actually what grab the ice. And if you can hear that, it actually, there is a ridge there. These do not have that. So there is a ridge there, but it's not as aggressive as the AT3. And I will be doing a 3,000 mile review on these tires. My truck currently has 6,000 miles on it. So I will do a 3,000 mile review on these tires, let you know how the ride quality is, the wear quality, and also the noise. So I will say this right now, absolutely silent. I cannot tell you any difference between these tires and the stock ATs that come on there. And I don't even really consider them ATs because they were as close to a highway tire with an all-terrain that you could get without calling them a highway tire. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any comments, questions, feel free to leave them down below. I respond to every single one of them because I know people have questions, and I'll gladly give you answers.